Hi there. On today's episode, ooh, ooh, ooh.
I'm Charlie.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Eddie. This is straight to POD.
What a way to start 2025.
Uh,
We don't need to do it again.
well, no, I'm not gonna do it again.
One take, one take. That's all. That's all we got.
All right. We did 45 takes, and that was the best one. What a way to start 2025. Uh, we just released our 2024 best movies, or what we thought were the best movies. Our list. Make sure you check that out. A lot of surprises there. Some overlap, but different takes. 2024. Overall, I guess it's I wouldn't say mid. It's anywhere between let's forget about it and it has some salvation. So let's go with that. But 2025 has just started, so hopefully we'll get some good films, um, and we'll get some classics or some reimagined classics. We'll see how it goes. But with that, we'll start off with our first review, the first movie of 2025. Well, not the first movie of 2025, but the first 2025 movie that Straight to PLD podcast will be reviewing, and it is Wolfman. Chris, you want to go ahead and give us the synopsis?
Sure. A family at a remote farmhouse is attacked by an unseen animal. But as the night stretches on, the father begins to transform into something unrecognizable. This film
Mm.
was directed by Lee Winnell. He did Upgrade and The Invisible Man. This film starred Julie Garner, Christopher Abbott, and Matilda Firth.
Thanks, Chris. I know none of these people. I don't know if they've been in other things.
Haven't you seen um, Julie Garner? She's in
Ozarks.
Ozarks. Yeah.
Nope, I haven't seen Ozarks. I heard it was a good show though. Okay. Well, everybody's got to start somewhere, right? Uh, total disrespect. Total disrespect. No, but I'm sure. Overall, for spoiler free thoughts, I didn't necessarily didn't like this movie. I just didn't necessarily enjoy it either. Um, I do like the fact that it kind of just jumps right in. There's very little very little to no expository exposition in this movie. I mean, it's a Wolfman. Um, I appreciate that the director comes in knowing, like, what this is. The myth of a Wolfman, what it entails, right? The rules, rhyme and reason about it. So you kind of get really into it. It's centered around a family, and obviously there isn't much more of involvement there, which again I enjoyed that aspect, but I feel like it wasn't necessarily paced very well, um, and I feel like it could have been wrapped up a little bit differently or quicker. There were things in the movie that I thought were going to go one way and did not go that way at all, which wasn't necessarily a welcome surprise, but it was something that I was like, all right, cool. I was wrong. I was wrong to think it was going that way. Not for the better, but I was still like wrong. Maybe if it would have gone that way, it would have been a whole different movie. But overall, it kept you entertained and seeing where things were going. Charlie, what about you? What did you think of this movie?
Are we going spoilers or not spoilers?
The spoiler-free thoughts right now.
Okay. I like this movie. I liked it. Um, there are some. It's not the best movie out there, but it's decent enough to go watch it, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there are some couple of points where it's like, what the hell? What's going on? I don't think it was. I think the pace was fine. I don't think. I don't think there was anything wrong with the pacing. The setup. My only complaint would be kind of the chemistry between the actors and actresses. It's a little less believable than I would
Mm-hmm.
have liked it to been.
Mm-hmm.
And but I agree with everything else. It gets in it right away. They give away a little bit at the beginning, but not too much to keep you intrigued, right? Because everyone wants to see. I mean, you want to see the full wolf. I mean, everybody knows it's about the Wolfman, right? It's gonna be about the Wolfman,
It's about
and
the
you want to
Wolfman. Yeah,
see.
of
And
course.
I'm glad the trailer didn't show you. It showed you a flash of the Wolfman, and if you paused it, maybe you would have seen it. But I'm glad they only showed a little bit in the trailer. I'm glad they only showed a little bit in the beginning, um, and then it just kind of, builds on itself until the end. We will talk about the end though, because the end, I feel like we kind of agree on that end. What about you, Chris?
I thought this was very okay. I know I really enjoyed the his other film, The Visible Man. So I was hoping for something better when it comes to this. I wanted the Blumhouse Dark Universe to happen, but
Mm-hmm.
after watching this movie, I don't think it's gonna happen.
I don't.
I
It's still, I mean, it still
Without
might,
spoiling,
right? It
without
still
spoiling
might.
anything. But yeah, this movie felt like very low budget. Like there's barely any actors in it, and just I know like a lot of the effects are felt like cheap, and like there's like two locations. I know it just felt like kind of a B movie almost in a way.
Mm.
And like I feel like that could work sometimes and not other times. I don't know, like yeah, the like you guys said, the characters were all right. I was like the horror movie trope, like the characters are just stupid. Like I feel like there were so many times in this movie I was like, wait, why are you doing that thing? Like, why are you going up there? That doesn't make sense at all. Like it's very questionable decisions from everyone in here. But yeah, I
would agree. I
do.
would agree with that.
The one thing that I did really like was in when the father is changing into the wolf man like slowly, it like switches perspectives from like, oh, here's the mother's point of view, and like she's talking normally, but then it switches to the father and he's like weird vision he's seeing of her, and it's like I can't understand what she's saying. It's like underwater speak almost. So that was interesting, like change of perspective whenever that would come
Mm.
up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Well, with that, we will go into the spoiler section. So warning ahead. Um, I don't think there's anything like really big to mention in this movie. For me, I think it's a pretty straight interpretation of the Wolfman lore. It's about a family. And they have problems, and they go to the woods, and there's a Wolfman. The father gets kind of like snipped, ergo he becomes a Wolfman. And, there's other Wolfmen, and he is a Wolfman, and they are trying to fight. He still like remains like human, like he still understands like this is my family. So he's fighting against the other Wolfmen that are just like, I
Family.
guess, savages. Yeah.
But the Wolfman is actually his family. It's his dad the
Yeah,
whole time.
that is, I
Dun,
guess, the
dun,
twist of the movie
dun.
is that the main issue of the movie is that there's a Wolfman out there that's trying to kill the family. The second problem is that the dad is a Wolfman, and it turns out that the first Wolfman is the father of the father.
Mhm.
Uh, that's like the biggest twist at the end. Like, oh my gosh, I just killed my father. I thought
I
he
don't
was.
think that was a big twist.
I didn't think. Yeah, I didn't think it was a big
I don't think
twist.
so either. I think you could assume that he disappeared, considering the state of Oregon. Like took forever to like declare him dead, and that only
Hmm.
happens if you've been missing for like a year or whatever. I don't know what the rules are. So and what we know about his dad is that he lives in the cabin, he goes missing, and now there's a wolf man, right? Like you can
Yeah,
kind of put the dots together
Plus,
there,
yeah.
they literally
right?
talked about hunting the Wolfman in like the flashback intro of the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
So I give credit to like them trying to, uh, you know, do as much as they can with this type of story. Um, it is public domain, so it's I mean it's like you could make a movie of like a Wolfman. Um, for the most part, it's gonna be difficult trying to put your own twist or spin on it. The isolated story again, it's not like it's the worst. Um, I don't feel like any of these actresses got along. I don't know why, but there was just like sans chemistry in this. And mind you, the underlying issue within the family is that they are just not getting along. Like there's like uh, hints of a divorce, and like that they're just not happy with each other. The father's out of work, and the wife is a breadwinner, and she's like stressed from work and getting stuff. So there's obviously that issue. So there is tension and there is issues that we're supposed to care about. But even in that type of balance that they're supposed to have, I did not feel like they gave a like. I feel like they gave less about that what they were supposed to be portraying. The actors gave less shit about that than anything. Like they just didn't. Like I don't even think they cared that they were
I
having
feel like
issues.
that was literally just set up for them going to the cabin, like
Right?
to
Like
Nick's
it felt
dad's
like it was
house.
just yeah, like it felt like it was just like, well, we need a conflict. All right, put it as in there. Like it just again, I want to say it's a well, I'm saying that it is a good thing that it kind of jumped in, but maybe it just wasn't enough time for us to develop some kind of attachment to these characters. And even if I don't know, even if they did, the subsequent scenes of the acting were just so bad. I could never I couldn't. I mean, the transformation and like the acting of like the Wolfman and like that was great. I was like, it was great. It's just like the family dynamics, the little girl, the mom, just like I mean, this poor girl saw the death of somebody and she was just like, go to bed. It's okay. Just go sleepy times. You're not traumatized by anything. Just go.
Yeah, it's like I don't want you to be traumatized by any of this. As
I
he's
know, right?
like
It's just
turning
like
Go ahead and
just
go
into
go
to
to bed. Like
just go
she
to
literally
sleep.
just
I
forget
mean,
it.
at one point, her dad looks like okay. So just to address what you said, Eddie, the transformation I think is super cool in this movie. And I think they do it well. Especially with like the split perspective that they kind of switch back
Yeah.
and forth.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And I think since that's kind of the meat of the story, that's why I lean this. I'm not gonna say it's a great movie, but like that's why I feel like this is a decent movie because of the transformation being kind of the meat of the story. Now, what they need to work on is the little details where it's like you need to be invested in this like family and believe that they even like each other, right? Like it was just weird seeing that guy like he was just sitting on the steps and she comes out of
That
work.
was kind of creepy, right? You're
Yeah.
like, what are you doing there,
Yeah,
buddy?
that
Yeah,
was
what
creepy.
like why are you sitting there like a stranger? Like you
Yeah,
don't
who sits on the step? What?
you can't go inside. Um and you just like she sits down and he's just like, "Are you happy?" I was like, "Take her out to lunch. Do like something." um so it was just strange to see their like dynamic. I'm like, are these people married or this is like two best friends that like just had a child or like two friends that just had a kid and lived with each other? Um so yeah, so I totally agree with you there, Eddie, but the transformation was super cool. But in terms of trauma, this little girl sees her dad in like the roughest shape ever. Like I felt bad for the guy, right? Because he just looks ugly, like his teeth are everywhere, and he looks like he's just like running a high fever and like throwing up, right? And she's just like looking at him, just like you know, directly in the face, like that's traumatizing no matter what. They're just like, you know what, just get in the car, we gotta go. Um, just kind of scooter along.
Yeah, all of the like we need to get like him help, or it's like, oh, yeah, like him, like he's already pretty fucked up at that point. I think he already like was eating his own arm right before they got to the car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's like, yeah, let's just you sit in the back and with their daughter, they'll be fine. I know you're being little weird right now, but it's fine, whatever.
Being a little
And
weird
like
right
even
now.
like when after like the wolf grandpa came up and attacked them in the car, like the door is closed and it's like, should we let dad in? He looks pretty fucked up right now. Should we let him in? Okay, we're letting him in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was another thing. It was
That's
like,
the other
why
thing.
would you?
When does he stop being him, and when does like his humanity like truly gone?
I think it's right at the end. Like when you see him like call out, like when he woofs and
Whoops
like
out.
when you see his body get all like his bones and stuff get all weird.
But he was still able to stop himself before his wife is forced to shoot him.
I think it's
Yeah,
like
I think that's the.
just
Yeah.
like yeah, I think it's like very like he's losing himself like at that moment essentially. Like he is a full wolf man at that point. And he's like, shoot me because he knows he will kill them kind of thing.
Oh, it could be the power of love, you know. Um,
All right,
that's what
so
I thought because I was like, oh, but what about his father? But then again, it's not like his father didn't love him, but I guess it was like it was different
Well, his
because
father was also gone for like,
his father looked like he had PTSD, so it was like maybe that I don't know.
yeah. Well, his
There's
father
something
was
to do with
also
something.
alone in the woods for like a year as a wolf man. So like, I think you're pretty far gone at that point. Not even far gone. You just are gone.
Oh, that's
yeah,
true. That's true. You
Yeah.
know, so this is still recent. You know, he's still like caregiving. Also, the other, yeah, I think to your point, Charlie, is like, yeah, you succumb to your instincts. And in this case, he's around his family, so his instincts are not to like devour or survive and eat or attack, right? Savagely. It's more so to protect. Like he still understands that they are not to be harmed. So it's more so of a protect instinct as opposed to an attack instinct.
Yeah.
Um,
hmm
so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um,
Speaking of
I-
protection, um,
okay, you don't pause after that, but okay.
speaking of protection, this podcast,
This episode
this
is brought
episode
to you
is
by Trojan.
by Durex. Um, use the best protection against Wolfman. Um, so the first when first see like the original wolf, well, we got to talk about the alpha wolf because his dad didn't turn by himself, right? He must have gotten bit or scratched or something,
He got bit or scratched or some shit. Yeah.
right? So
well, only it's the alpha wolf
where's
because
the
like
alpha wolf?
the intro text of the movie is like, oh yeah, Port or like Oregon, there's this wolf people around, and like we know it's like a urban legend kind of thing.
Yeah, but like if he went to go looking for it and then got
Yeah,
bit or scratched and he turned,
Mhm.
where's the original one? Not the original one, but where's the other one?
He might have
I mean,
murdered him.
I
You
guess he
know,
could have. I guess he could
yeah.
have contracted the flu
wolf
or
beats
whatever.
wolf or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever it is. Anyways, that's a different conversation. What I want to talk about is, Eddie, where you were talking about what the hell are you doing? Okay, so you're raised in a cabin, you hunt, you obviously have a gun, and you use the gun since like you were young. The moment you're running away from the Wolfman into your home, your like childhood home, uh, I thought he was looking for a gun, but I did not see one gun pop up in
Yeah, I was
this movie
surprised that
for
there was any
protection
guns.
at all,
Yeah.
just except at the end. Except at the end
It
when it
wasn't
was
even
his
wasn't
like
even his
it
dad
wasn't
gun
even his
though.
gun, it was like his childhood friend's gun,
hmm
right? And that just happened to be there.
Yeah.
But how are you gonna be in this cabin and there's no guns in this house? You have a flashlight, you have like a everything else. You have a freaking
Yeah,
radio.
considering how Republican this guy is, I would imagine he'd have an arsenal ready. But the only thing I could think of, and it just literally popped into my head as you were explaining it, the only thing logical that I could think of is that the the day or the moment that the father got turned was the day that he was like, F this, I'm tired of like living in fear or whatever, or something occurred where he was like, I am gonna go get all my stuff together and go hunt this thing. So he picked up everything that he could to just go out and like, fight this wolf man, the OG wolf man. And he died, he failed. So then all his weapons are just gone because he went like full Rambo mode. But he lost, obviously.
That makes sense. I can see that.
Yeah, but the only backdrop to that is that obviously the son knows the house, but he didn't go searching to, you know what I'm saying? Like that would
Mm-hmm.
me personally, if I went back to my childhood like home, knowing like my father the way he is, I would be like, all right, let's go see the secret set. Let's go get the guns. But he didn't even do that. Like he was exploring as if he was like completely new to his own home.
Yeah, like the meat
he's like,
locker.
there's a door here. Oh, I haven't been here in years. I've never seen this. But it wasn't even just like guns. There was like no bear traps, no like hatchets, no axes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing that would indicate that this man lived in the wilderness any more that he lived like downtown, like any metropolitan city. Like there was nothing in this person's home that would indicate that he lived like out in the wild with your next door neighbor being like 10 miles away. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like there was
it was weird when he went to the basement. It was like cleared out essentially. Like the shelves were cleared
like
out, and
everything's
like
gone.
the radio was packed away. It was like, was someone
Also,
already here? Like what?
like why haven't you updated your generator in like a decade? That is just like any person who actually lives out there would want like an actual good generator, not this rusty old 1980s. It's like, oh my gosh, it hasn't changed. It's the same one. You need to update that. I feel like anybody who's worth
Was
their
too busy
salt
hunting
in these
wolfmen.
things would know that. Like,
Yeah. The second
You
thing
know, this is
was
like-
how the Wolfman respects doors. He's like, oh, the door is closed. It's like, I'll beat on it for a little bit, but like, I'm not gonna go through the window.
I'm not gonna go through the window. No
Yeah.
concept of windows.
I mean, all the windows had bars in there, except
They
I think
did. Oh, on the
upstairs
outside.
one.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay,
Yeah.
that was my fault. But there's a doggy door, but no dog.
I mean, there might have been a dog at that point. You know?
Maybe, but that was.
But yeah, you
the other
think
dumb-
they
that was the
would
other
have closed
dumb,
that
like,
one off? you
like,
know?
oh, is he on the other side? And he gets attacked by like his leg. I'm just like, oh Jesus. There's no dog here. Why is there a doggy door? And why is it not closed? But whatever. I mean, that's just me. That's just me. I would have died at the car battery because I would not know how to hook it up to
It's color coded, you know.
to jumpstart the car. Yeah, but you gotta put it like it's gotta be like pot. I don't know. You gotta put it like in the right order too. All right. Well, question for you guys: if you guys if I'm the Wolfman, and you guys set up a bear trap and trap me, would you guys finish the job or would you guys run away like she did?
How are you gonna finish the job?
Now you gotta finish the job.
How are you gonna do it? What do you have? You have a flashlight.
A werewolf can only be killed with a silver bullet or a silver knife or a stick with a silver handle.
Well, not these ones.
Decapitation or something. I don't know. Like, there's gotta be something.
With what? What are you gonna? There was nothing in that barn. Like she was gonna decapitate a grown man.
Well, I thought you were saying me. Like, if it was her, me, her.
okay.
If it was me, her. Oh man, I don't know. I
don't know. At that point, it's like, all right, you got to knock him out,
poison,
or
maybe
like
poison.
take him out, or something.
Like, obviously
I
there was
thought-
canisters.
Poison,
And I thought those death mushrooms are gonna come back and make it
right?
be a part of a movie.
I for sure thought that's how he was gonna like I'm losing myself. I'm gonna eat these mushrooms. He finds the mushrooms. He eats them. He dies. Peace.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, what
he
was the
kills
point
himself.
of showing us that if that wasn't part of the
I
movie?
thought for sure, right? It has to be the
Uh,
ending of this movie.
Um,
But no.
I'm pretty sure there's like, I'm pretty sure there's a canister of like pressurized something in there, like hairspray or cooking oil or something. I would use that with a flame, like open up the gas. Like I'm pretty sure he has a stove, a gas stove. Set something on fire and just pss, and, make a flamethrower or something. I don't know.
Hmm.
There's gotta
Uh,
be. I mean, the fact that he
I
doesn't have
thought
any weapons, I don't know.
in that scene, the barn scene where she had the flashlight, I thought it was gonna be like one of those like the super like bright ones that you see like that light up like whole
Oh yeah, that
streets.
light up.
And it was
Yeah,
like gonna
yeah.
blind him. I was like, what is their plan? Is he gonna blind him with this old flashlight or something? Not even thinking about the bear trap. But yeah.
I thought the greenhouse was gonna play something more. Um,
That was one of the dumb decisions. Like
I felt
we're
like
we're gonna run away, but on top of this greenhouse, it's like what? It doesn't even seem that high. And like I feel like you can climb that if you had wolf hands, right?
well, even wolf
It's like
feet, like
plastic.
you just be able to jump and get. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like it's just I don't know.
It seemed pretty easy to me. Like what are you gonna do? Just sit on there until morning or whatever he leaves? Like he can wait
once he
you
gets
out.
once he gets bored, don't worry, he'll get bored of us and leave.
Hmm. You're tired. Well, I'm assuming in this movie the daylight doesn't kill the werewolf or doesn't leave him
Yeah.
at bay. So at the beginning of the movie, they see the werewolf in broad daylight. So
It seems like once you're Wolfman all the
yeah,
time.
you're fucked. You are Wolfman all the time, and you're just trying to hunt. The hunt is on. Um, yeah, no, you would think that there would be like a society of wolf people out there,
Yeah.
or
And you
like
would
an
think the
alpha
cabin
wolf.
would be extra protected. I was like, you spent all this time, you know the Wolfman's out there, and you only put bars on like the doors and windows. Like you don't do anything else to like upgrade the cabin.
I also wouldn't live on the first floor. I would live on the second floor,
You got into the
scoping it
second
out.
floor.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
should have done second floor bars as well.
Um, yeah, and
um,
it seems like this Wolfman is only like
yeah.
isolated to this house because nobody else seems to know this thing exists
I
outside of
mean, it was his
this
house
house.
when he was non-Wolfman.
No, I meant like the wolf like person is only hunting like around their area. Like it doesn't go to other areas. Just like stays focused in this area.
Yeah.
I mean, just around the woods, you know.
His friend got
And stuff.
murked. His friend's like, oh, I'll take you to your old house just to die immediately.
I mean, he was being like sus in his like lookout thing. Like,
Yeah, he
why are you
was.
sitting there?
I like how he was like, it's best not to be out after dark. But you literally stayed at the lookout. Like, what was your plan?
Yeah, it's also not implied that he knows the Wolfman. He's just like, don't stay after dark, okay? Thanks. That goes anywhere, right? You just got to be careful. When there's, I don't know. Just a lot of setup for no reason in this movie. It just doesn't go anywhere. And I guess also that's like it didn't click, and I don't think it clicks naturally. But in as I'm watching a movie, if some of the things don't get resolved, then my brain just seems like it's like there's something that's missing. I mean, like for like the whole mushroom thing, we took note of it, and it's not like I'm actively searching for when they're gonna come back to it, but I'm just like that thing wasn't resolved. And so, what was the point of introducing it or making a focal point of it if it's not going to be used in any way, shape, or form? So now it just feels like it was intentionally misleading. I don't know. But again, despite all of those things, it's still better than Madam Web. So that's the bar. That'll be forever
him
the bar.
him chewing off his foot and then still being like pretty fast was pretty cool. But Jesus Christ, that was number one. That was nasty. It was
I think
nasty enough that he
the
was
arm
like
was
eating
pretty
his
bad
own
too.
arm. Yeah,
Like he wasn't even full Wolfman at that point. He was
yeah.
just
I thought it
eating
was. I
it.
thought he was gonna auto heal or like heal faster. I thought it was gonna like miraculously be better, not significantly worse. But
Doesn't seem like it.
yeah.
So
Um.
is the trauma of the movie like passing the one trauma to like the father to the son kind of trauma? Is that what this movie's about?
Well, where's the original trauma? Where's the
Well,
Wolfman
the
they
father was went
saw at the
to
beginning of the movie? Where's he?
yeah, I don't know. We haven't get his backstory yet. But like the father was in like the war or something, and then like he was secluded out in like the middle of nowhere with his son, like very general-esque, like him like ordering his son to make his bed, like super neat and like eat all your food and stuff, like very like that. And it was like once like his son like left him, and then it was like, oh, I'm trying to be better. Like he yells at his daughter at one point. He's like, I'm here to protect you. I don't want to be like my dad kind of thing. But then he gets transferred the Wolfman disease, and he's slowly becoming like mean and stuff like his dad was. So that was kind of
Yeah.
interesting.
Also, the opening scene doesn't make any effing sense to me. Once the movie's complete, like once you see the movie, this man is unemployed. They have one source of income, but in the beginning, they are walking through what seems what New York with a giant ass pink teddy bear, three different bags from three different stores. Like, why are you spending this amount of money on your child?
I
Just
think they're in
randomly.
LA, right?
Whatever. Even worse. Even worse. This is the
The mom is
livable.
the breadwinner. She's
Yeah, and he's over here just, I want a giant teddy bear. Here you go. I want, go to store. Here you go. It's like, why are you
Just
spending these amounts, these obscene amounts of money in one of the most expensive cities in the world when you only have half a household income? Like,
well, I
I
wonder
don't.
if he had like one good book that like sold really well, and then he's kind of just riding off of that.
He's just writing it.
Yeah, and like his
He's
wife
another
is
J.K. Rowling. He's like, yep, I just needed one idea. I'm just gonna ride this to the end. um, Nobody wants to say it, but I'll say it. It's the kid's fault. But that's
what?
just me.
What
It's
part?
the kid's fault for everything. Why they have money problems, why they're going through
I
it,
don't I think you're
and
making up the money problems there.
why they
yeah. I
forget.
think
No
you're.
one no one's saying money problems.
It was implied that they have the money
What?
problem.
Just making up these problems.
Um, the reason he becomes a wolf man, it's all the child's fault. So
I think that's his fault for closing the door for some reason.
they they didn't have to come with. He's like, come with me. They would have been fine. That's the daughter's fault.
What?
Okay. Any more thoughts and prayers for this movie?
Yeah, let's put it out. Let's shoot it in the chest and
Let's
put out
shoot
this
it in the chest
misery.
and put it on his misery. All right, you got
But where
rating
is the
theater
alpha?
decision.
That is what I want to know.
All right, Wolfman 2, the alpha. Rating theater decision. We looking for the sequel, Charlie.
This is like right down the middle for me. It's not. It's a decent movie, but it's a decent movie to spend a nice afternoon, not to like make your whole night about it. But 2.5 shots to the chest, and yeah, I mean, if you want to spend a nice afternoon, this kicks off. This is pretty much kicked off January, right? First
Yeah.
scary movie of the year. Yeah, go watch. I mean, go watch it. Go watch it in theaters. I wouldn't make it's not super long. How long is this movie? Like an hour and a half?
Like an hour and a half, yeah.
Yeah, it's not super long at all. But yeah, go watch it in theaters. Um, It's a nice. I'm not gonna say it's a twist on the Wolfman thing, but the transformation is super cool. So yeah, go watch it. And the sequel, I don't think this movie's gonna do like super well. That it's gonna get a sequel. Two things I would like to see out of this is number one, where the hell's the Alpha? Where's the original Wolfman? The hell is he doing? Right? Is he still out there? Did he die? And number two is like probably just an expansion of this universe would be kind of cool. Um, if they can do cool Wolfman transformations, then maybe they can do cool vampire transformations, and then it'd be Wolfman versus vampires. Not a super new idea or anything, but just that, but in this universe. So yeah. What about you, Eddie?
I give this a 2.25. Um, you know, eating your own legs out of 5. Um, yeah, I kind of just echo what you were saying. Just again, it's not bad, and my 0.25 rating is because like when I go twos, it's like really bad. Um, I go 2.5. I'm a little bit more in the middle, but it's like right in the middle of the middle for me. Um, again, it's not the worst thing. It is enjoyable, so kill afternoon, or you need to do something in between. Definitely go watch it. It'll be entertaining, and you go watch it. Sequels, I don't necessarily think these type of films need more. I think these are one-offs. Vampires, werewolves, ghouls and goblins, whatever cryptoids are out there, or lords are out there. I think ones and duns are pretty good. So maybe not a sequel. If there is another one, maybe just another individual film of what another Wolfman in like British Columbia or something. I don't know. Yeah, but definitely go watch it in theaters. Or either way, you could just wait and hold off and watch it at home. Either way, definitely go recommend you watching it. Chris, what about you?
I would give this 2.5 death cap mushrooms out of 5. And yeah, this is very okay. Like some of the Wolfman like transformation or even like the changing of the view, like how the Wolfman sees the world, like very bright lights, like the eyes are very you can see the eyes. I guess it's like Wolfman vision. And even like one of the scenes where he's hearing something thudding upstairs and it's just the biggest spider and it's like squish that thing, yeah, just squish it. It's scary. But yeah,
I thought he was gonna eat it.
yeah, it's this movie's fine. I mean, they didn't need to go back to the house like for the third time, but they just kept going back to the house, Like, there's nowhere else to go in this place. But as for a sequel, did you guys not stay for the post-credit scene where Elizabeth Moss was recruiting a team of wolf people?
No, was you're joking.
Yeah,
with the
like because
Invisible
Elizabeth
Man.
Moss was in Invisible Man. Yeah,
Yeah.
so she's recruiting the monster team to take out the
Monster
mummy or
Man,
whatever.
Frankenstein, the Mummy, Dracula,
Who who is the
classics.
Thanos for the Dark Universe?
Uh, that's funny.
Um,
Monsters
yeah.
Assemble.
Yeah, I would say just wait until it's streaming. You don't need to see it in theaters. I don't know. Wasn't that worthwhile for me at least.
All right. Well, how would you survive being a wolf man? Let us know. You can email us straight to pld@gmail.com. You could also feel free to send us any questions or any updates and things that's on your mind. We'll be able to answer them or put them up on the next episode. You can also follow us on X, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, and Twitch, all at Straight to PLD. And that concludes this week's episode of Straight to PLD.
I'm Charlie.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Eddie. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.